okay? And you will miss the class, okay? And then I'll translate your text, all right? Okay, understood? Everybody nod. Okay, and first half hour every morning, I will expostulate. Expostulate means long talk with no special meaning. No, just things I'm thinking about, okay? So my dream, so I've been working for this my whole life. I'm very excited. This is something I've been waiting for my whole life. You're late. You're 5 minutes late. Okay? 6:45. 6:45. 6:45. Okay, make a place. Now we're gonna lose some time. I can move down a little bit.
Do we need more room here? Let's have a look.
Maybe Mr. Wu sit there at the head. Yeah. What's that? Who?
Do you want to do it? You?
Word, you can sit on this side. Let Mr. Wu be comfortable. Yeah, come on down. Come on down.
Sure.
Everybody come down towards me. Not that much. Okay. Okay, I asked you to be here at 6:45, okay? And we're gonna start on time, and I will close the door, okay? And anyway, I'm really excited. I've been waiting to do this my whole life. I had dreams about this many times, you know, of like 8 serious translators, and in the back, some, what do you call it? Backup translators, for if anyone drops out, they will take it. That's how I learned Abhidharma. I was just the backup. And the professor who was studying with my teacher quit. Then I got to translate the Abhidharma. So there's a backup for each person. And we'll just keep going. So we have chosen the greatest books there are. There's 2 books. There's all the Geshe course, okay? So Abhidharma Kosha, I believe it's Chonin Lama's commentary, which I think is the best ever written. And Stanley will be working on that. Your book is too long to finish in 1 year, so we will put out a book every year. And the books will be like this style, okay? This is my first translations. These were done 35 years ago or something, okay? When you were not born yet. And this is called Classic of Middle Asia. Middle Asia means middle way, really, okay? So we're going to continue the same format. This is a good format for America because it's called Echo. There's a very famous series of American classics, English classics, that uses this little box. It's called the Penguin Classics. So I stole the box, and it looks the same, okay? So we call Echo in marketing. It looks like something you know, and it looks really. So these 2 books I finished 30 years ago, and we will continue this series. My goal is to have, I don't know, 5, each person should finish a book by the end of the year, okay? There'll be 8, you guys will do 8 books, and there's 2 more books that have already been translated for this series. It's a commentary to the Heart Sutra and a commentary to the Dhamma Sutra by Chonin Lama, which I already finished. So we'll clean that up. Hopefully we'll put out 10 books by the end of the year. Each of you will put out your own book, okay? So Stanley's Abhidharma, Xiaoping is Vinaya, and each of you will have a partner, older student. So I propose for Stanley it will be Adam, and you have to make sure he finishes his translation. You know, he's got 2 days, right? You have 48 hours to finish your translation. So I'll go. You get 1 hour with me. We have to average about 1 page. 1 page means 2 sides of a Tibetan book, like one of these Tibetan books. So, your book will take, I don't know, 5 years or something, okay? because yours is the biggest. And it's what I did first. It was what I also, so I feel like you're like me. You remind me of me when I was your age, and I was many years ago. Uh, and I think you'll love it. Abhidharma is shared by all Buddhists and everywhere. It's very big in Sri Lanka, Burma. All Buddhists keep it. To be honest, the Tibetan tradition keeps it better than the Southern traditions, uh, and that commentary is the best in the world. So that's really cool. The Vinaya will be studying a poem by Jetsun Kappa, which I translated for the ACI courses, most of it, which is a summary of all the Vinaya. And so your partner will be Venerable Utpala, who's a nun, and she can help you with details. So we have a nice commentary on that by somebody named Gyal Kemble. He's from Labrang. Labrang is a famous Tsongkhapa monastery in East Tibet. Okay, so you'll be translating that. And it's a nice commentary, and it will come out a book like this. And I don't mean that she has to become a nun. I just want to put the seed in her mind for that, Word is doing Kunshi. He's doing one of the most important books from Sarah May about mind-only school. And it's in debate format, I believe. And I edited that book 30 years ago. It was the first book we ever put out on the computer, and along with about 7 other books. So in one collection. So that's a really cool introduction to Alaya Vijnana, which Mr. Wu very much loves. And it's a basic text about Alaya Vijnana. Sugang will be working on a text on dependent origination, which is the wheel of life. Sugang. And so it's a very beautiful text of a Sangha, a commentary on a Sangha. And I'm thinking also because he's organizing a special Wheel of Life seminar in Borobudur in Indonesia in August. So, and we're trying to finish a major book for that. And so I can throw some of your stuff in there, and it will be fun for you. And then he's translating it into Indonesian language, but he's also fluent in Chinese and Japanese and English. Adam's working on Seidura. Seidura is there's a kind of book from Tibet where they took Dharmakirti's logic and they made it into a collection of topics. So Dura means collected topics. And this is how you get into deeper logic books. You start with the Dura. And there are many Duras. Each monastery has its own Dura. And the most famous subject in the Dura for us is Chichedat, which is level 7 in DCI language. So this is, Se means the spiritual sun, as Sarata Sase, which also means prince or princess. And so this is the Ngawan Tashi, who is the spiritual son of Jamyang Shepa. And it's the greatest Dura of all. It is the greatest. And we don't even study it at ceremony. I found out about it later. I studied it with a monk from Daegu. So, a Geshe from Daegu. So, it's awesome. It's totally awesome. So, that's like the text. When I think about it, my mouth waters. I told Adam, like, I want to work on this, So, and it's a debate style. So, so you'll be learning, each subject has its own vocabulary, and they're separate, and they're different, and nobody ever teaches all of them at the same time. So you're going to learn all the vocabularies of Buddhism, except for Vajrayana. We're not going to do that yet. But these are all the different schools of Buddhism. Ben is working on a special subject called Siddhanta, which means you compare all the schools of Buddhism. It's a special kind of literature. The most famous Siddhanta is Changyur Rupidoji, which is 3 huge volumes, and that's a little early to do that. So he's going to do a simpler version, and then I think each of you, like I would like to get with Adam if you survive the Saint Dura. I would like to get into Kedubje's really huge commentary on Pramanavartika, and we can translate Yeshe Wangchuk's commentary to Pramanavartika, which I edited, and it's a new commentary that was written about 20 years ago, and it's awesome. It's the best. So those are more difficult works. So you cut your teeth on these baby books, and then we go to more difficult works. Then also the Drupta Siddhanta includes books which are, how should we say, it talks about non-Buddhist schools. So it has a good summary of the schools of ancient India. And those summaries are better than this. They know those schools better than the schools know themselves. So I studied at, what do you call it, Shivananda Yoga Center, and they teach some of those schools there, but they don't know them as well as the Tibetans do. So I was kind of shocked, So it's very beautiful, and and the later Siddhantas even cover some Christianity. So they will, the ones that were written in the 1800s, some of them mention Christianity, and their idea about Christianity is pretty strange. But anyway, so he'll be working on that, and so we'll cover. Oh, did I do you? Oh, she'll be doing Beth Utpala. He's a nun. She'll be doing the Dati. Dati means, Tawa means to see emptiness, and Ti means an instruction to see emptiness. So this is a kind of literature of how to meditate on emptiness. And I think yours is written by Choni Lama. I think Choni Lama is the best to translate for the modern world. He lived about 300 years ago, and his writing is very Western in style. So very clear and very sort of systematic. So she'll be working on that. Nick will be working on Umar Riksokdru, which is the 6 books of Nagarjuna about emptiness. We tried really hard to find a commentary. There's only 1 or 2 commentaries on them, on any of them, that are something I would translate. And we looked for a commentary on a book that he translated. Anyway, we got the wrong book. I found out last night. So we're just gonna go. We're gonna go straight into those, and that's not easy. And we'll have to. There are no commentaries on some of them, so we just have to work directly from the ancient book and see how we do. I think at this point in my life, I'm as able as anyone could ever be to translate them. So, we'll do it as well as we can. I don't think there's anyone else who could translate them. So we'll just try. He did 14 books total that we have, and we can expand it later if we get bored. So we'll start with those 6. And I didn't have time to prepare them, so we'll just go straight into them. My goal is, our long-term goal is to complete 10,000 works. In my opinion, there are 10,000 great Buddhist works that I'm familiar with. And we pretty much know what they are already. They're already in the database since about 1999. And most of them, almost all of them. So my goal is to finish those. And the work you do is the foundation for the DCI courses. And then, hi. Cannot come in the class, okay? Cannot interrupt the class, okay? Okay. The sign is for real. So, no, I lost my train of thought. Translate, and then this becomes the basis for the DCI courses and the ACI courses. So people will make ACI courses out of your books, and then people will make DCI courses out of the ACI courses. And then I didn't expect in my life to have universities, but Dr. Wu has indicated that he would like to support some bigger universities. So part of the long-term goal is we're looking at land in Sedona. We've already negotiating for it. It was in the newspapers this week. And the idea is to have a university with maybe 1,000 students to mix ancient topics with modern topics. The three modern topics that I think would be appropriate are medicine, especially stem cell research, which Dr. Wu is into, and environmental studies, which I think are important for the US and China, and then high tech, mostly like writing apps and things like that, teaching people to write apps. So those three subjects plus ancient languages department. But to me, the ancient languages department is the foundation for the rest. So the doctors and the programmers and the environmentalists, scientists, they are basing their research on the seed system, okay, on the 4 steps of Vasubandhu. So you are sort of the, what do you call it, worldview police, and from you comes a constant flow of new books to remind people of where things are really coming from. So environmentalists are, cleaning up their sexual misconduct so that the environment is better. And, the medical people are teaching people to help other people who have medical problems. And the world, the view, your view informs the view of the rest of the college, rest of the university. And then we're looking at land in Guadalajara, Mexico, Chapala. Nice place next to the largest lake in Mexico. On the shores of the lake, overlooking the shores of the lake. We went down and worked on that. And then we're looking at a place in Munich, near Munich, Germany. And then I suppose we'll have one in Asia. Maybe Malaysia or Indonesia or Singapore, I don't know. But someplace where we can. And then, of course, Dr. Wu has a place in Xi'an, China. So really, the work you do here will affect the whole world, in my opinion. And so for me, it's very serious. And the way I studied Sanskrit was I already graduated from Princeton. Then I wanted to study Sanskrit. And I went to the Sanskrit professor and I said, can I just sit in the back? Because I don't have any money, at Princeton. And he said, okay, you can sit in the back. He said, you're serious, I'll let you sit in the back. And he got up, he was 64. I'm also 64. And he got up, he said, I'm 64 years old. Next year I have to retire. There was a rule, he's 65, he has to retire. He said, I was an undergraduate at Princeton, I got my master's at Princeton, I got my PhD from Princeton, I went straight into teaching at Princeton. I've been in Princeton my whole life. And this year, I'm going to teach it my way. Because if they kick me out, I don't care. And he taught it the old way, tough way. We had 60 students, 58 dropped out. 2 of us survived. And that's what I'm going to do. So I want it to be really tough. And I want you to be on time. If you're not on time, forget it. If you don't do your work, forget it. I'll cut you. I'm too old to fool around. I did the Diamond Mountain thing. I babysat people. I psychologied people. I put up with all kinds of stuff. I had to call the police a couple times. I'm not doing it anymore. If your behavior is not perfect, you're out. And if you're late, you're out. Okay? And if you don't do your assignment, you're out. Your only assignment is to translate your piece. Okay? 3 people, Sugang, Xiaoping, and Stanley, They haven't had any Tibetan. So they're going to need mentors. So you have to organize that. If you can do some, it'd be nice. I know you're busy. I don't expect you to do it every day, but some remedial. Remedial means catch up classes, A, B, C, D. Okay, and Adam will do some of those classes. So you guys coordinate it between yourself. We have videos that we made of Kakaga, and you just start. Okay, and I'm just throwing you in the water. When I learned to swim, my mom threw me in the water, and I'm like, and she's like, good luck. She threw me in the water. I remember. I was like 5 or 4 or something. She just, and that's what I'm gonna do to you, into the water. And you're Chinese. Why are you studying Tibetan language, Sanskrit language? And we'll do Sanskrit, not this year, but we'll talk about some Sanskrit as we go. There's 200,000 great commentaries in Tibet. 10,000 are extraordinary. 10,000 are off the charts, unbelievable, and they will change the world. I'm sure there are some in Chinese language. I don't know about them. I didn't study them. But I've worked my whole life finding those books, reading those books, collecting those books, putting them into the database. Those 10,000 books are unbelievable. My goal is that after we translate things into English, on December 31st, 2017, 8 books go to other people in the world: Spanish, German, Russian, French, modern Chinese, and we translate them into modern languages. So by the end of 2018, the books you finished in 2017 will be in 20 languages. We have a team translating Dr. Wu's new book into 20 languages. Now, starting now, it's already set. It'll be out in 20 languages by the end of the year. And so we have people all over the world. We have over 100 contracts for foreign languages. I just went through them with my lawyer. I set up a literary trust in case I fall down on my airplane. All the contracts are with a team of lawyers in Phoenix, and they will make sure all this stuff stays public. My idea, I'm trying not to go over. What time is it? My idea is that each of you will own the copyright to your book, okay? So it'll say Stanley Chen, and then in little letters it'll say with Geshe Michael Roach. I put it the opposite way from my teacher. It says the Geshe Lo Santarchen with Michael Roach, but actually I translated it myself, but because he's my teacher, and he helped me with the hard parts. But it'll say Ben Kramer, with Geshe Michael Roach, and you will own the copyright of your own book, okay? But Diamond Cutter Press will have the right to print it also. So equal right, what do you call it? Shared right to print it. If you go crazy and say you can't print it, I mean, we'll have it on a contract that you own the copyright, it's under your name, but we have the right to print it also, and you have the right to print it also. I believe that in your lifetime, you will teach it. I'm teaching this week, okay? You will teach it for the rest of your life. I translated this one like 35, 40 years ago, and I teach it all the time. So you will become known as Mr. Segdura, or you'll become known as Mr. Jukta, and people will ask you, can you teach me my domain, and so once you translate a book, it's like you have this intense belief that it's the best book in the world. and people will ask you, oh, Stanley Chen, can you teach me Abhidhamma, So you will become, it'll be your baby for the rest of your life. And it's very beautiful. When these books come out, I sleep with them for 3 days. And, I'm so proud of it, it has my name on it. And I made it available to the world. And I think you should be proud of it, okay? So the first day is the honeymoon. everyone's hopeful, you know, they see their book in their eyes, and it's a lot of hard work, okay? Not easy, okay? And you got to be tough, you know, and you're going to have troubles. This is a very virtuous thing, like when Xuanzang translated the classics. And that's going to attract every demon in the universe. It's going to try to get into this room. You know, you will be jealous, you'll be angry, you'll be tired, you'll lose your motivation, and you just got to be tough, okay? And I'll be tough. I won't quit either. But you got to get in the room on time. I'm not going to, no behavior problems, nothing, you know. Any problems, you know, you're out. You hassle me, I'll call the police. I've done it before, you guys know. They will lift you out of here and they'll put you someplace, okay? So, you know, I'm not messing around. I want to get this done, okay? And that's the, what do you call it? Fear of God? In English, fear of God, okay? I know some of you, English is not your native language. I don't care. You're young. Sugung is also pretty young. So just do it, okay? You each have your own helper. Did I say who's Sugung's helper? It's Word, right? Okay, so you help him with his English every night, and okay? And then you three are going to help translate them all into Chinese language, okay? So Mr. Wu's dream, Dr. Wu's dream is to have them all in Chinese by the end of 2018. So we just keep doing that, you know. We'll just keep doing it every year. We'll put them out, you know, in English, and then we'll translate them into modern Chinese. Along with your text, to some extent your text, there are Sanskrit originals, mother books. So we'll translate those also, okay? Like the Abhidhamma Kosha. We'll translate the original also as we go. All right. And you're going to change the world, okay? And I'm here. I'll be here. I'll do it. So I'm ready. But it's a lot of hard work. And it's not a one-year thing. I'm asking you to commit for 5 years. Okay? I'm asking you to be here for 5 years. I got money for the first 2 terms. I got a donation for each of you costs about $3,000 for your term. And I got money for the first 2 terms from somebody. So you're okay for that. And we'll figure out what to do after that, okay? But I'll finance you. I'll find money for you. But you got to do the work, okay? And you got to get here. And I know if you're traveling from Asia or something, we'll get you here. We'll figure out how to pay for that, okay? So don't stress about it. But you got to be here, okay? I'm not doing stuff by Skype, okay? There's no way with this. You got to have a human being, okay? All right, is it time?
It's time.
I'm 2 minutes over. Okay, we're starting with bets. Can you remind us? I have it written down, but you want to remind us of who's going today and who's going tomorrow. Every other day, we will do 4 people for 1 hour, okay? Geshe Michael will not talk too much. We will finish 1 page each every day, okay?
Yeah, I'll put the schedule up on the screen right now.
Okay. Dr. Wu, you're welcome to come every day, but you don't have to come every day. If you're tired, you have family things, or you're buying some new university, you can. You're welcome to watch from your room if you get here late. But I think if you can be here, you will be very happy, and we will be very happy. And after today, there will be other people who paid to sit in the room, and they are the backup people. But today I wanted to be with you alone, just because you're the hope. You're my big hope. You 8 are my big hope. Okay? All right, here we go.
So there's the schedule. This morning is Venerable Upala.
Yep.
Then at 8, we'll take a 15-minute break at 8:30. And then 8:45 to 9:45 is Allison. Then from 10 to 11:15 we have yoga in this room, which I don't know what I know.
I expect you to come to yoga.
Today maybe we do yoga.
Unless you have a physical problem. And if you have a physical problem, I ask you to stretch or something, do something. You can do it in the same room. Do some stretching or something. Whatever you like. Go for a walk. Yep. But do something physical every day. Don't skip out. Don't say I don't want to do yoga. I know Gift Michael told us to do yoga, but I don't want to. I'll also do yoga with you today. On other days, I have to be teaching during that time.
Then we have a half-hour break at 11:15, and then Adam will translate at 11:45.
You can get a little bit of food in that time if you want, if you have to eat.
And then I'll go at 12:45.
I encourage people to have a green drink in the morning and some cappuccino. No. Like I had a green drink this morning. To me, that and some coffee, it makes my mind good for a couple hours. Okay. Tomorrow, mind only.
Yep. Word in the morning, and then Sugang.
Sugang real life. This is word, I guess.
Oh, no, that's Stanley.
Oh, Stanley Abhidharma.
Yeah, I must have.
And then Ben on Siddhanta. Okay. All right. And you have 1 hour, so we got to get going on
So again, do you want her to be in the screen or you?
me.
Okay, so do you know how to do it?
I push the little arrow thing,
There's a little.
and I
TV.
say Scriptorium TV.
Yep.
And the airplay
Here's
code?
your code, 1875.
1875.
So anybody
We have all this nice technology because of Dr. Wu. I'd like to thank you. We also have a room here because of Dr. Wu.
Thank you.
Yeah.